Hey, what's going on, everybody? Everett here. I am going to speak on the Chris Rock and Will Smith incident, and I'm going to speak and give some insight into some things that I feel is super important that I don't want people to miss in this moment. You know, we're understanding of all of this entertainment things happen and everything, and people are trying to find people to blame and who's at fault. And I'm here to give you some well-rounded, wholesome insight as to what we should be focused and the lessons that we can learn from this. First of all, for those that don't know, I grew up in a very conservative church, all right, where I didn't get to watch a lot of TV, didn't get to do a lot of things that other people would consider normal. You may even say it was a cult of sorts, all right? That's how I grew up. I'm the oldest of 8. So I've been married before, not married now. Got into a relationship with a narcissist woman who basically, for those that have never heard the term before, she had an hysterical pregnancy, which means that it was a pregnancy as a psychological phenomenon where a woman can think herself pregnant, have the physical symptoms of being pregnant, and not actually be pregnant, not actually have a child in the womb. And so that's how I fell prey. That's how I became trapped in this world of a narcissistic relationship. And I was in it for about 2.5 years, went through therapy, changed everything, changed my perspective. And so I wanted to share some insight. First of all, to this day, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has been my number one sitcom, number one most watched sitcom. I've watched over 90%, dare I say almost 100% of the episodes, and it is the only sitcom that I've done so. I mean, that's higher than Cosby, it's higher than A Different World, it's higher than Friends, it's higher than any other show. Why do I say that? Because I'm a Will Smith admirer. I've admired how he handles himself, the cool, the suave, all of the swag, right? I was a big fan of Boom Shake the Room when he did that back with Jazzy Jeff way back in the day. I've also been a fan of his movies, even the ones that weren't so great, like Wild Wild West, just because he has gotten to the point where he is able to do things that we may consider not his best work and still be successful. So for all of that and many more reasons, I've always admired him. But in this situation of the slap at the Oscars, the slap heard around the world, he was wrong. He was dead to rights. And I'm going to break it down and explain it to you. Not to mention also, I've been a huge fan of Jada Pinkett. I first fell in love with her in the movie Woo. Do y'all remember the movie Woo? I didn't watch a lot of movies, but I remember that. She was super sexual, vivacious, vibrant. I loved everything about her. It was an introduction to her of sorts, and I've liked her ever since. And for the most part, every time I've seen Jada Pinkett, she's had short hair. All right. Nonetheless, let me get into why I have an issue here. And I'm going to tackle it from 3 different perspectives. All right. 3 factors. Number 1, the humanity factor. All right. You've heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. That's somewhat misleading because words, yes, they do hurt. However, the greater offense is a physical, actual hit and hurt, and they hurt more. Yes, the words hurt emotionally, mentally, whatever, but physical is always the last line of offense, right? Ask any law enforcement agency. It's to talk first, to ask you to put your weapon down, to ask you to be still and to be quiet and to cooperate before I elevate it. Matter of fact, those of you watching this, if you had somehow unbeknownst offended someone, the approach would not be for that person to come up and smack you and then tell you why they smacked you later. None of you would stand for it. No, what you would rather have is a person to be man enough, woman enough to come up to you and say, hey, I have an issue. I felt slighted. I feel like you disrespected me. I feel like you offended me with this and this that you did. Let's go from here. Even in the corporate world with sexual harassment, you can't just haul off and hit somebody for sexual harassment and have that be okay. You have to first let the perpetrator know verbally that you are not comfortable, that it is not a thing, that it is not something you wish to happen again. And at that next moment, it's a free fall, so to speak. All right. So from the humanity of it, you don't just go up on stage at an Oscars, especially, and smack another person. You could have said what you said from the seat, from the audience wheel. You could have even come up to him, whispered something to him, or told him something, or even threatened him and put yourself in an intimidating pose up there and walk back. Anything but hit him. And then for him to actually still be able to go up and grab the award. The humanity of it disgusts me. All right. The second part I want to hit is the humor part. All right. Did you know I had to Google G.I. Jane reference because I missed out on that movie in my childhood? And immediately a picture of Demi Moore pops up in G.I. Jane, and G.I. Jane, the character of the movie, was like the lone woman infiltrating herself or becoming part of a a masculine dominated brigade, right? In the military. And so she was this strong woman. She was this determined, ambitious woman. So on that alone, this was not a slapstick reference. This was not a reference of comparing Jada to some woebegone, some prostitute, some harlot, anything like that. He was comparing her to a superhero. Now, Jada Pinkett has every right to feel offended, to be disrespected, even if it seems like nothing to us. She's entitled to that, everybody. She's entitled. But what she's not entitled to, and what you're not entitled to, is responding to how you feel. You can feel however you want to feel, but you can't respond however you want to respond. And so it took me but a quick Google search to realize the humor that he put out there, was physical. Wasn't about her medical and her disability. And come to find out, a lot of people, a lot of celebrities didn't even know she had this alopecia. Nonetheless, it's a physical reference from the sight, just from the looks of it. Now, she can be entitled to be offended, meaning Jada, but where's all the defense for all of the men who, for countless decades and years, have endured jokes of thinning hair and bald spots? Do you know male pattern baldness? It's a form of alopecia. It's a medical issue that prevents guys from growing their hair. And 9 out of 10 guys, trust me, would rather be able to say that they have their hair. Yet there's no defense for them. Who's up here defending every person who tells a joke on these guys about their thinning hair? No, it's a thing. We deal with it and we keep it moving. So that's the humor of it. I don't understand the joke and the offense of it, especially when you look at it in this context. And then the third most despicable thing, we've dealt with the humanity of it. We've dealt with the humor of it. Now we're going to deal with the horror of it, because this is where I'm most deeply disturbed. Because in this singular moment, Jada has revealed and exposed herself as a full-blown, true narcissist. All right. Now, people throw that word around, and unless you actually have been in a narcissist relationship and gone through therapy and understand it, it's just a word that you may overuse. But here, and I'm not going to go back into all the red table talks and everything that she's done over the years in the dynamic of their relationship to prove this. We can do that in future episodes, and I'll deal with that down the road. But for this moment, she exposed herself as a narcissist. Because the cunning craft of the narcissist is to be so charming that you don't believe that they're able to be so evil, so vindictive, so manipulative, because they're so charming. Jada is just that. She's super charming. Not only that, the other skill of the narcissist, the nefarious skill of the narcissist, is to be able to cause and pull the emotional triggers of whoever they're manipulating so that they do things outside of their character. They do things contradictory to their own integrity. That is where Will is right now. Will Smith has on full-blown display has shown that he's capable of overstepping his character, stepping outside of the realm of his own integrity for the sake of pleasing this woman. Mind you, he laughed at the joke first. We can see that. But he moved up there to slap Chris Rock because of the emotional triggers that she pulled. Now, we can all guess and speculate 100 million times over what exactly she said. But the guess is that in some way, she had his heart right here. She had his heart and his mind wrapped up right here. She knew what to pull, what to push to get him to get up out of his seat and sabotage his character. Now, even if we give him a second chance, which I'm sure that most of us will, and I will, he does need to give an apology, not one that his publicist wrote up and posted on Twitter. No, get in front of a camera and a video and let us see you say the words, Will. Let us see that you are apologizing. But what I really hope comes out of this, if nothing else comes as far as punishment or consequence for Will, is that this idea of narcissism and manipulation is exposed. Because the true narcissist will never be defeated. All right. Narcissists will never change their ways. Jada will never change her ways. She'll change the people she manipulates. She'll change her approaches. She'll get more evil and more nefarious and more manipulative, but she won't actually change. All right. So the only way to defeat narcissism is if you and I become aware that it exists. And if you and I take steps and standards to do this. And because of the therapy that I've been through, I know exactly how to do it. I know exactly how to spot narcissists. I know exactly how to avoid it. And I know exactly how to get you out of a situation if you find yourself in one. So if you found some value in this video, go ahead and like it. Go ahead and comment down below. Share this with somebody so that they can get some help. And comment down below if you want to see more. And if you want to be in the loop, okay, for future episodes, I go deep into narcissism and really show you how to get out of it and really navigate it so that you never have to be a victim. All right, just comment down below and make sure you subscribe to the notifications. All right, that's my time. I'll see you all on the next. All right.